Hi, I'm Colleen Theophil, and this is Live a Life You Love, the podcast. If you did not know, I'm an emotional intelligence coach, and my main focus is to help you go from simply surviving to thriving by teaching you how to manage your emotions and using that to create momentum in your life. So let's jump right into this episode, and we want to talk about resolutions. It is a new year, and we know everybody is going crazy about resolutions. Now, to start off our topic, I want to pull a card from a card game called the Answer Me This card game. It's sponsored by a company called Promise Jazz by Kel. Yes, it is my own business. And I want to pull a card and let's have this conversation. Right? So let's jumpstart. It says, what is one resolution you continuously fail at every year? Yes, I said fail because let's be honest about it. Resolutions are a very funny thing. I don't know about you, but when I sit down to plan a resolution, I am hot and sweaty. I'm like, yes, we're losing 20 pounds at the end of this year. We're eating clean. We're doing all of this. And then halfway into January, everything falls apart. So, what resolution do you fail at every year? So, for me, I'm not going to lie, the weight thing is an issue. The question is, which is what we want to talk about today, why do we fail so quickly at resolutions? I know you thought that I was going to teach you how to actually plan resolutions, but we need to get to the heart of the problem. Why do people keep failing at creating resolutions? So I want to share with you three very simple keys that I think would be absolutely necessary. That if you could stick to these three things, any resolution that you plan will succeed, but you have to be committed to getting it done. So let's jump into it. So the first thing, and it is going to seem very obvious, but do not underscore the power of this. The first thing is perception. I realize that it is very important that you make sure and plan your resolution with the right perception in mind. Now, perception one of the goal that you're setting. Have you ever set a goal or a resolution and realized that the emotion attached to it could be negative? So let's use real life examples. You want to set a goal of losing weight, but your thought behind it is, I'm such a failure for not being able to lose weight, or I'm such a failure for even getting to this point in my health journey. Now, hear the tone in which you're already talking about this resolution. It therefore means you're already starting in a bad place. You're already shooting yourself in the leg because you don't even believe that you are even capable of getting the resolution done. And so, one of the key factors to being able to succeed at a resolution is make sure that your perception of it is well put together, that you have the right concept that you want behind this resolution. So do not make a resolution and you go off the negativity first. Make sure your thought is, you know what, I am capable of getting it done. While we're on that, you need to also fix your perception of yourself. It's very easy that we make resolutions off of our failures and failure in terms of how you view yourself. You remember, if you are not convinced that you're skilled enough, if you're not convinced that you are capable, then you are not going to put the work necessary to get a resolution to even come into fruition. So your perception of how you view your resolution, and then more importantly, the perception of how you view yourself, is such an important key in order for you to succeed at this particular goal. So you want to get that resolution done right? Fix how you view yourself. Then the second thing, which is so crucial and you know is crucial and you always sometimes lapse, yes, I'm talking to myself as well, it is discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. There's a quote that I heard that says, discipline is the bridge between goals defined and goals accomplished. If you want to get from a place of simply writing a pretty note in your journal, because yes, ladies, we all have those pretty planners that we bought for the year to start. If you want to go from just having a pretty goal written out to one that you actually accomplish, discipline has to become a hallmark of who you are. So what does that mean? I have a few drivers of discipline that I want you to keep in mind. The first thing with discipline is your conviction. You cannot write a goal that you're not passionate or convicted about. So you say you're only going to eat veggies and you know you cannot stand the soggy taste of veggies. There is no passion, no conviction behind it. You are not convinced that this thing could work for you. Or you write a goal to start a new business and realize that you don't really have a passion for business. There's no conviction. Or worse yet, you want to start some kind of helping type business and you don't like people. Tell me how that gonna look. You don't like people, but you want to start a business to help people. My point is this: if you're going to have discipline, you have to be convicted. You have to be passionate about what you're going to pursue. Now, listen to me. The pursuit of your passion isn't simply just in the end result. It's not just I want to lose weight. No, that's not a real goal. The real goal there is I want to be my best self. I want to steward. Because if your only goal is to lose weight, when things become challenging, it becomes hard to stick to it. But if you build a goal based on, you know what, I'm passionate about being my best self. I'm passionate about being healthy because I want to be there for my children. I want to be there for my nieces or my nephew. So you have to make sure that your conviction is bigger than yourself. So the first driver for discipline has to be your conviction. The second thing is you have to have self-control. Say it with me, self-control. Self-control is so important with discipline. Listen to me. There are many times you are going to get up in the morning and you are not going to feel like it. One of the things I want you to understand about feelings is that feelings are meant to simply be a guide to what is going on in your head. They are not driving forces in your life. So feelings can never dictate your pace. They are simply guides to let you know what's going on so you could sort it out and then you take control. So if most of us did things based on how we feel, we will get nothing done. As somebody who constantly has to perform in front of crowds, or somebody who always has to constantly communicate with people, most times I don't feel like talking. I could sit whole day in silence and be good. You could imagine if I didn't feel like talking, then I wouldn't have a walk. I wouldn't have a walk, and that don't make any sense. My point is this: you cannot go based off your feelings. You have to have some level of control in your life so that you can get that momentum going. So that second thing is self-control. And then the third thing is, say it with me, consistency. Say it with me, consistency. Sing it like a song. It only becomes permanent when you are consistent. Practice makes perfect? No, practice makes permanent. If you do something over and over and do it well, because we need to have the conversation about doing it well, then it becomes a natural part of yourself. You could be as self-controlled as you want to be. You could be as passionate as you want to be. But if you are not consistently doing something, all your discipline will fall apart. So you have to learn to be consistent. Now, a part of being consistent is understanding what works for you. We all have very different personalities. So not what would work for one person will not work for you. So if you know you're somebody who is a night person, don't tell me that your routine going on start at 4 o'clock in the morning. You are shooting yourself in the leg, darling. Don't bother. So if you're a night person, then you create your consistency based on your personality. So if you work best in the night, then arrange your schedule, arrange whatever you want to do in such a way that your best self comes out at the time you are giving your best self. That's how consistency works. Use a pattern, use a routine that works for you. So if you know for a fact as well that your best way to learn is through music, through sound, then you do things that allow you to learn in that space. So I am somebody, I have to hear something in order for it to stick. So I am always singing along to music, the things I need to learn. I sound crazy, but it doesn't matter. That's how it sticks. So I would never forget when I was in primary school. One of the things a teacher told me, she said, Kel, sing this song for me. North Pole, South Pole, latitude runs east to west. And that was when I was able to thrive in geography, because this woman taught me that, Kelly, in your auditory learner, you learn by sound, so this is what you have to do. This is how consistency works for me. I start my day with music. I make sure there's that sound going on. So with discipline, make sure you're convicted. Make sure you have self-control, and make sure that you are consistent. And then the last thing that I want you to keep in mind, which is number 3, is accountability. If you want your goals to succeed, you have to be accountable to somebody other than yourself. Because we talked about feelings, and sometimes our feelings lie to us. Our feelings sometimes lie to us and tell us, I could do this on my own. That is not true. We need community. We need people to walk alongside us. We need somebody to tell us, stop your shippiness and get it together. You could be more than that. We need people like that in our life. So with accountability, accountability has different tiers to it. One, you need the cheerleader on your team. You need that person who comes with the passion. You need that person who does that check-in with how you're vibing, what you're working on. We all need that person who will say, come on, Cal, you could do it. Woohoo, this is exciting. This is encouraging. We need that person in our accountability circle. That has to be somebody you could trust to tell them your feelings and say, listen, I feel really low about this. Please help cheer me on. The second person that you absolutely need is a mentor. Somebody who is a notch above you. They've crossed this path, they're experts in their field, and they can walk you through this in a way that helps you to become better than yourself. I always say every circle that you operate in, there should always be at least one person who is above you. And it doesn't mean that they're lording it over you. It just simply means whether it's through age or experience, they have a better handle on this. When you want to achieve a resolution, make sure that you have a mentor. So whether it is a fitness coach, a business coach, an emotional intelligence coach, whatever it is, make sure that you have somebody who's a mentor, who is not afraid to buff you, who's not afraid to say, listen, these are your weak areas and this is how I need you to become stronger. Why not redirect? You need that accountability person. And then thirdly, you just need somebody who is going to sit with you and allow you to express yourself. No set of talking, just this is really hard. This person needs to be a safe space person. My husband is my safe space person. Sometimes I have to tell him, listen, I'm not asking you for advice. I just need you to simply just sit. Let me talk. We will talk about that in February for the love month. But I just need you to just let you know what I'm feeling so that I could get it off my chest. Because let's be honest, resolutions come sometimes with heavy emotions, heavy feelings as we're trying to navigate it. So you need those three persons, your cheerleader, your safe space person, and your mentor. So what did we talk about today? We talked about the fact that resolutions do sometimes fail, and we can all admit that we've failed at least 5 resolutions. I didn't say 1, I said 5 because it's true. But there are some keys that will definitely help you to make sure that you get to the end of 2024 with your resolutions intact. And those 3 things are very simple. It is perception. The second thing is discipline. And then the third thing is accountability. So I hope you learned something. And now I hope as you take these 3 things that you are now going to apply it to your life so that we can now create resolutions that stick and matter. So thank you for tuning in. I am Colleen Theophil, your emotional intelligence coach, and this is Live a Life You Love.